Yes, sir. Here we go. Round three is in the books. A very
Yeah.
exciting round. A lot of decisive results.
It
Sum
really
it up
was.
for us.
Yeah, well, the most impressive was Hans Niemann stopping the undefeated streak
Yes.
of Linear Dominguez.
And then pick up the bishop no matter where you go. And that's resignation. Hans delivers his first victory.
Lanier had tied Joel Benjamin coming into the round with 44 consecutive games without a loss in U.S. championships, and he was black against Hans Niemann. Hans played a great game. Lanier didn't play that well, didn't play that badly, but Hans was just, he played great.
Yes, absolutely unstoppable. I want to say, and just a trivia question for you: do you know who holds the record right now that's still in the tournament for unbeaten games?
Actually, I just I saw it because Wesley?
No.
No, was it?
It's Fabi.
Fabi.
32 games right now, unbeaten streak at the U.S. Chess Championships.
Gotcha. Speaking of Fabi, let's be very clear. He played a great game with Ray. I mean, I don't want to say he played a perfect game because there's no such thing, but when you think of the accuracy of his moves,
Really good,
like
really high.
Where do you say, oh, I'll double guess that and say he should have done something else? He played a great game.
He did, and I feel that everything started from the opening. This bishop
Bishop
to e6
E6.
idea, which, sure, maybe it's not one of the main lines, maybe it doesn't equalize immediately, but it does keep a lot of chances and a lot of pieces on the board.
Right.
And it throws Ray a little bit off.
Right.
He started questioning his decisions. Knight
Right.
a4, b5 was a very good move by
Right.
Fabi.
Right.
Tried to close shop on that side. I have to say, he played a very good game.
He
Good
really-
strategical game.
He really did. Wesley, so Sam Shankland is once again, he's going to be kicking himself. He had some really serious advantage, and he came up with this really nice rook a3 plan out of the opening. It looked like it was going to be great prep, and then suddenly kind of this strange move, knight e4. Knight h4 is obvious and really strong.
It
I
is.
mean, Wesley's got to thank his lucky stars that he
And I
didn't
think
go
it's
down.
knight g5, in fact. Instead of bishop
Also-
g5, knight g5. So knight takes e4, bishop takes e4 was the right start. Instead of bishop g5, you have to go knight g5.
But that was the other
Keep
thing
the
that he had
engines
missed.
running,
Yeah,
more or
that was
less.
the other thing that he had missed. Sam Sevier looked, well, he hung on. I don't think it was a grim defense, but he was a pawn down
Yes.
against.
But good defense
But
with the black
yeah.
pieces. I mean, he
But
must be happy with
The
the result.
big one really is a wonder. Okay, coming into the round, on paper, Levon looks very good, but strangely enough, in their past, a wonder actually matches up very well with Levon, having defeated him in a previous U.S. championship. Guess what? With the black pieces, look at that game. Tell me where a wonder. Very, very good,
Played a
accurate
very
play.
precise game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when we left it, he was just promoting his pawn, so we think he won. Deservedly is in a tie for first, and
Full
it's a big.
of creativity also. That rook to c4, d3, all
Loved
this
it.
exchange and pawn sacrifices, and it was all with the sole purpose of opening up the bishop on b7.
I know that was good.
And
but-
if you open up the bishop, you deliver checkmate.
Yeah, but there was one moment that was especially sweet, which I think a wonder will regret having missed. Rook e3.
Yes.
Yeah, that was I didn't see it.
Yes.
But once it's pointed out to you, you go, oh,
I
that's
saw
so
it.
nice.
The engine showed it to me. Yeah.
An honest man.
The engine showed it to me.
Very
Rook
nice.
Look, it's a nice pattern, and in general, it's a pattern that we've seen quite often.
Sure.
But you don't look for it, and he was already calculating this rook to
To
c1
see,
and this
yeah.
whole sequence
I'll
of
go
moves.
for rook f3. I will sacrifice a piece for many pawns.
A lot of pawns,
A lot of pawns.
and they proved to be quite successful as well.
Indeed, and that's exactly did
In the
happen.
women's,
Well, stop. It's not the women's championships. It's the Carissa Yip show. I mean, what can I say? 100%, 3 out of 3. But also, her games. Jennifer looked like, next. It was an exhibition match. Jennifer maybe surprised her a little bit, maybe surprised herself with his Dragendorf. And then once Carissa had this idea of bishop on h4 back to f2 and starting attacking on the queen side, rook takes e7, bam, 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 all the moves.
Yeah.
It was just a cascade of blows.
She's good. She's really good, and
really
she's
good.
in a great shape, and
Yeah.
she's bringing a lot of confidence to this one. Coming from the Olympia, 10 out of 11, gold on board 2, excuse me.
Yeah.
A great result, and it feels like she's in the shape of her life right now.
Yeah, it
really
really
playing good
does.
chess.
She really does. Begum, I thought Begum was on tilt today. She was so angry with her loss in round 2. She came in and was like almost with a snarly move. I can play anything. I'm going to play G5 in a perk. Wait, what?
The standard variation
Yeah, the
of
standard
the model.
variation. Winning with the standard variation of the modern defense. G6, G5. Well, that'll go down in infamy. It paid off.
It did.
I mean,
Big
it
time.
was a little bit chaos. Begum went for a pawn on the queen side, but boy, she just got rolled in the center, and Begum's back in the action.
Tatev continues to
Tatev.
impress in this
That
one. Back-to-back
was the-
victories against
Right.
Atousa. Atousa defeated Begium in the previous round,
That's
so
right.
definitely not an easy one. And I think she dominated. I was not following very closely that match, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she ever let Atousa back in the game once she got the advantage.
Well, it was this ending where, as Tatev said herself, she was so happy to get rid of her bishop for the knight, and then in that ending, the 4-rook ending, where she could play a3, she broke through. But Atousa actually had, I think, a pretty decent position, and it was a 3-result game. It wasn't from the opening that she got outplayed, it was the late middle game. But like you say, for Tatev, I mean, so many times the bridesmaid
Yes.
in these championships, 2.5 out of 3, she's playing herself in a position for first.
Absolutely, and I think Wesley, in his interview yesterday,
Yeah.
he made a very good point. This is a long tournament. It's a marathon,
Yeah,
not
it
a
really
sprint.
is. Yeah.
It's all about preserving your energy. Sure, it's good. It's nice to win some games early on, but you need to be able to maintain the momentum going into the final few rounds.
That's it.
So this is exactly what the players are going to try to do. Tomorrow is round 4. The first rest day is coming up shortly in a couple of days.
Exactly.
Looking forward to that as commentators. Obviously, it's nice to get a break,
Sure,
but
sure.
also the players. What do you
Yeah.
expect tomorrow?
Well, still, I want to say about today's game, I'm still a bit tasered by the outcome of the
Oh.
Rose game.
I forgot about
I
that
mean,
one. Yeah.
Thalia was so lost in like 200 different ways. I think the computer engines might have been, like a plus 30 or something. I mean, it was really, really bad. But as Maurice Ashley says, time trouble makes fools of us all. And having so many choices of which way to win, Rose was one after another, not finding the most convincing. F4, F3 at a certain moment when she was doubled on the F file. She went for rook H5. Okay, bishop E6, H3. Thalia's just playing on. And then suddenly Thalia finds queen B7 and the cold shower moment.
She's winning at that point.
Wow.
From a completely losing position, something that she
Right.
could have resigned in good faith for a very long time.
For sure.
Queen B7 turns the tables, gives her the advantage, but neither player realizes that.
Well,
at
with
the end.
again with 30 seconds to make each move, it was pretty tough. And then finally, a draw somehow felt like a proper result.
Yes.
I mean, both players were so relieved. It was so correct.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Well, Yasser, thank you very much, and
Not at all.
I think that's it.